Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Afghanistan and Central Asian Association, a charity founded in 1999 after arriving in the UK as a refugee in the back of a lorry with small children and starting our life in the southeast of London in New Cross Gate in the London borough of Lewisham. Now I am going to explain you about the background and the history of the organization, where we started, why we started, and what are our aims and objectives. So the organization started actually just after a few months of my arriving in the UK, where I wasn't able to speak a word of English. I didn't know anything about the system, and I was struggling to integrate myself into the British culture. And then I realized there is a strong need for a community provision, for a charity to support others who are in a similar situation that we were at the time when we came to the UK and started our life. So now I'm going to show you the offices that we started running the organization 25 years ago. 152 New Cross Road. Yeah. So this was the first office. As you can see, it looks like a small shop where I had the opportunities to meet the Foreign Office, to meet the Home Office, my local MP, the Mayor of Lewisham. They come to this office for the launch of the organization, for the launch of the center or the charity. But sometimes when I remember the past, unfortunately, I feel very sad that some of the members of the community from Afghanistan, when they come to this office, they started laughing on me. They said, "Is this your office?" I said, "Yes." They said, "No, this is not an office. This is a shop." And I was feeling very painful. Why this community, my community, do not understand the struggle and the organic process of working from a grassroots level. Because unfortunately, in the third world countries, the offices are very luxury, very expensive, very beautiful, and that's why maybe for my community it wasn't the right office for them. As I said, that I had the opportunities to meet the officials from the British government. But then we didn't run all activities from that shop, from that office. We were running the activities from the Albany Center in Deptford, which was quite large community centers. We were hiring these centers on the weekend to run the English classes as well as the supplementary school. And then from 152 New Cross Road, we then moved to Hatcham Park Mews, thanks to the New Deal for Communities, which was a government project introduced by the former Prime Minister Tony Blair. They help us with an office in this building, where then we started running the organization activities from this center, but we had just one of this room. And then after this office, then we moved to 24 Deptford Broadway, which is very close to Greenwich. So this was the last office in the southeast of London, in the London borough of Lewisham. We spent 18 years in the southeast of London. It wasn't the right location. I was the first family from Afghanistan. I started my life in Lewisham. But however, I managed to set up a successful charity even in the southeast of London, while the largest community from Afghanistan, they are living in West London. But unfortunately, they didn't have a chance by having a community center in West London since the migration started from Afghanistan almost 30 years ago, to improve their integration, to improve their confidence, to improve their participation in a community life. And that's why we decided to move from the southeast of London to West London in the London borough of Hounslow, where we have a large community from Afghanistan in West London. So then, after 18 years, then we came to Hounslow 7 years ago. And we started from 169 Staines Road. So again, after 18 years, instead of going up, we went down. And this is the interesting point about organic activities. So as you can see, the condition of this office is terrible. It's very, very bad, especially after 18 years living in the UK and running the organization, and then starting the organization activities in West London from a very bad condition like this office. Because we are running activities 7 days a week, Monday to Sunday, then it became impossible for us traveling 7 days a week from Lewisham to Hounslow and from Hounslow to Lewisham. And then we just lock the door in the house in New Cross Gate, and we brought mattresses to West London, to this office, and we sleep in this very bad condition in this office. Darius was sleeping on the floor until he saw the mouse, and then he put the mattress on the table. There is a small room for the director, for myself, and then we were sleeping in that small room. Shikebo, myself, Shabnam, Rabia, and my wife, 5 people in a very, very small room. And sometimes we saw leaking. We didn't have central heating, and we didn't have a shower. We took shower in the local gym. There wasn't any proper facilities in this room. But the office, while the condition is very poor, it was quite busy. As you can see, we had a lot of students from different backgrounds, from different cultures, from different universities. They come to the center for volunteering or internship, such as political communication, strategic development, legal position. Yes, as you can see this picture, lot of young people from different backgrounds, from different nationalities. They attended volunteering at the ACA, and now they are having a big position in the United Nations, in the EU, as well as in the House of Parliament, at the Ministry of Defense, Foreign Office, Home Office. So now they are in a much stronger position. So we can stop here for a while. I will show you, I will give you some information about my families. So so this is Shabnam Nasimi. She is now 32 years old, and she was speaking at at Cambridge Union debate 2 years ago. Yeah. Yes.
Chair for the proposition tonight, Shabnam Nasimi. Shabnam is a British Afghan social and political activist who arrived in the UK at the age of 8 after her family left the Taliban. She's now the founder and executive director of Conservative Friends of Afghanistan. Shabnam, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President and members of the Union for inviting.
So this is Rabia Nasimi. She finished master at LSE and did her PhD at Cambridge, and now she's working in the government.
Studying at Lucy Cavendish has enabled me to currently work for the UK government in the Department for Levelling Up Housing and Communities, focusing on Afghan resettlement. A policy.
So this is Darius
It is
Nasimi.
time for this week's Rising Star segment, where we celebrate the very best that this country has to offer. Now, from his journey into the country in the back of a refrigerated container when he was just 4 months old, to recently being elected British Afghan Conservative candidate in this year's local elections, this young man is one to watch in the world of politics. I'm delighted to welcome Darius Nasimi into the GB News studio. Let's cut straight to the chase, because you know this, you've dealt with the arguments left, right, and centre. What do you say to people?
So, and this is Shikebo Nasimi, who was born in the UK. So she is the youngest. During the COVID-19, she produced some video clips in Farsi language while she was born in the UK. Yeah. So the reason I was showing and telling you about my family is they all were sleeping in this office in a very bad situation, very bad condition, especially after 18 years living in the UK and running the organization. And now we have an office in Birmingham. So this is the launch of the office in Birmingham. And also we have an office in Kent. And we have an office in Manchester and Liverpool. Unfortunately, we don't have the pictures because we didn't have the official launch in Manchester and Liverpool, which hopefully will take place very soon. And then I will show you some other videos, how the office became very busy after the fall of Afghanistan in August 2021.
I'm Assad Ahmed. So people waiting to leave Afghanistan face danger today, with most being told to leave Kabul airport for their own safety. Well, here in London, preparations are being made to house Afghan refugees, although families waiting to take in relatives are facing an anxious wait for information. And in Felton and Heston, the local MP there is trying to help hundreds of Afghans who've got in touch with her. The charity workers in West London say there's only so much that can be done. Here's Conrad.
So as you can see, this is our center during the crisis in Afghanistan.
Today, hundreds have turned up here for news from relatives in Afghanistan and queuing to do their best to get them out. People like our son, desperately trying to get his sister out. His family works for NATO and
their loved ones who have been murdered and then the rest of the family fleeing. It may be because they've worked in the defence forces, it may be because they've been in journalism, and it seems to be that the Taliban have a hit list that they have had maybe sometimes for decades. This is not about what's recent, this is also about settling very old scores.
Today's deadly attack at Kabul airport came after we filmed and only add.
Yeah. And this is...
As Afghan refugees have begun arriving in the UK.
So the other report on BBC, it was about helping thousands of people from Afghanistan queuing from 5 a.m. to get some advice how they can bring their families to the UK. And this video shows that how this organization supported the evacuees with the donation distribution. Yeah.
Which is an organisation. Yeah. As Afghan refugees have begun arriving in the UK, communities and organisations across the country have been offering to help. Among those is the Afghanistan and Central Asia Association in West London. Our correspondent Zoe Conway has been speaking to some of the people there.
Here in Felton, which is just a couple of miles away from Heathrow Airport, they've been gathering donations to help the more than 1,000 Afghan refugees who are in quarantine in the hotels just by Heathrow Airport. And there's been the most astonishing response. All morning donations have been arriving, and I mean, this is nothing compared to what they've been receiving over the last 3 or 4 days. The generosity is quite staggering, and they're incredibly grateful, the association says, for all that's been arriving: clothing, nappies, pushchairs. It really is a very moving thing to see. But that's not all that the association is doing. They're also helping British Afghans who are worried about their family members in Afghanistan. This is a community in West London of some 100,000 British Afghans. And people are coming here to try and get help, to get advice. What can they do to help family members back in Kabul? Eloha, you have family members in...
So as you can see, this center not only supported people with a free legal advice to bring their families from Afghanistan, but also with the distribution of donation, or distributing donation to thousands of refugees evacuated by the British government in August 2021. And finally, maybe I can show you my LinkedIn page, which you can see thousands of, which we touched on this before, thousands of people, they we are volunteering at the ACA, at the Afghanistan and Central Asian Association. You can see here is 100 pages, which shows that so many young people, they come here for 3 months, for 6 months, for 5 months, and they manage to gain very valuable support and experience from the organization. Yeah. And then we moved to this center, which is quite large center. Also, is very expensive. Yes. And finally, I would like to say that I'm very pleased with the outcomes, with the achievements has been made so far, and I feel very pleased to see so many people are using the services, and how the services we provide to the community change the life of the people, which is very also impressive, which is very important. To see that people, they are now in a much better position. The number of participation is increased, and also is increasing week by week. And the number of activities run by the organization also is very valuable, such as English classes, free legal advice, mentoring support, volunteering placements, cultural events, and then you have football teams, the summer festival, the conferences, to influence the government policies to make sure that the people of Afghanistan inside the country, they will have a voice, as well as the support of the international community.